Welcome to Character. So we are going to look at character as when you use it in the context of Unicode escape literals. And the reason why you might need to use this is perhaps your keyboard doesn't have a character you can quickly type, or you need to be very specific in your source code, or for any other reason, like maybe you don't need to confuse your editor or so and so. So let's start with that in an example that's coming up. And also, when you want to create a character object, you can work with this character class. We'll look at the character class at this point later on, but in the demo we'll just get to compare, because this is the old way of doing it. It was no longer supported since Java 9. We'll see alternatives, especially the alternatives that are used in Autoboxing and Unboxing, which we'll talk about later, but we'll have a nice intro to it here that is done by the compiler, making use of the methods available in the character class. So let's go and see what's up. Okay, so this is our first example. Again, you will find it in Github, like we've been doing so far. So if you want to practice, you can just go and check them out on Github and practice. The first one is this character demo class, and we start by creating a character A. Please note that in Java, if I was to change this to AB, it will not work, because by design a character is supposed to only have one symbol. So if you want to create an array of characters, then you'll need to create an array. We covered array earlier. So let's look at this Unicode character. My IntelliJ shows me that I can replace it directly with omega, as I've done here, but just in case you have the different reasons of using it, you can use it like this. So if I was to run this, I should say omega twice, because that's what I'm doing in my S out. So let me just run that first. Yeah, so you see they're both resulting into omega in my output. Now for Autoboxing, if I was to write this, because I'm trying to represent this as a character object like that, then the old way of doing it was to work with the new object, but this one is no longer encouraged. What's done in the background by Javac is it works with the value of method. So we don't need to do this. As you see, I can just work with the one above as it is, and Javac will know to autobox and unbox where necessary in the background. So that is it about that bit. Now let's go and look at the character class and some of the methods that it has. So I'll attach this in the link. You can look at it. It has one constructor here and some methods here that are useful to you. We'll look at some of them, like the isDigit method and so on and so forth. So we'll look at isDigit, but please note isLetter. There are many other methods that you can make use of. So going back to IntelliJ, we have this class here. There is a letter, a digit, a space, upper and lowercase characters. So if you want to confirm if a particular letter that's passed in is a letter, you can just work with isLetter. If you want to confirm whether or not it's a digit, you work with isDigit. They return false or true or false depending on what you're checking. If you want to confirm if it's a white space, if it's uppercase, and so on. So if I run this, then expect to see true or false, true or false, true or false, depending on the method that I used. For example, isLetter A, definitely it is, so it's true. isLetter 5, it's not, so it's false, and so on and so forth. So have a look at that. And finally, within the characters, we can also work with escape sequence. We've already seen bits and pieces of this. For example, this escape sequence here for next line. We have another one for tab here. We have another one for backspace. That means it will delete the C, so you should see ABD. With the carriage return, some might refer to it as an overwriter, because it actually does overwrite depending on the IDE and the output. As you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 would be overwritten by ABCDE, but even if I just put a high here, I'll still see that it is overwritten. It overwrites the whole thing. We have this one for inserting a page break. It will look funny depending on your output. Sometimes it will look like a page break, other times not, as you'll see in a bit. And we have this escape character for when you want to work with single quotation within double quotations within your S out. The same applies for this double quotation marks within double quotation marks for S out, and you can also escape when you want to work with such backslashes. So I'll run this and then I'll walk you through examples that are not so obvious. Here we go. So the backspace, let me just scroll up. Yeah, here we go. The backspace deleted the C. You can observe that when you get to practice, this one inserted a tab. The new line actually took it to the new line. The carriage went to the beginning of the cursor when it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A, B, C, D, E, overwrote it. A, B, C, D, A, B, C, D, E, and hi, overwrote hello world. This is how page break is presented. It's Java. She said hello, the quotation mark, and the path. So that was that on character. See you on the next one.